give you some examples, because I'm sure some of you are going to be like, oh, well, Mr. Bradley's full of hot air here. He, can't find these things. Well, here's some examples of some previous students who thought that they could get away with things. And just so you know, names have been removed to protect the guilty, and the writers who are involved here did give permission to allow their papers to be used in another course. Here we have a paper on computer forensics called Computer Forensics Specialist. Computer forensics, also called digital forensics, network forensics, or cyber forensics, is a rapidly growing field that involves gathering and analyzing evidence from computers and networks. Well, that sounds all well and good, but when we look at this source here we have Computer Forensics Specialist on OP Papers. Computer Forensics Specialist, computer forensics, also called digital forensics, network forensics, or cyber forensics, is a rapidly growing field that involves gathering and analyzing evidence from computers and networks. It's the same text, because it was copy-pasted from that source. Okay. Another type of plagiarism out there is the old I'll just adapt what's already out there on the net trick, like we see on this paper, where everything's going all well and good within this paper, but then all of a sudden we get this story that gets started, saying the time is 5:30 a.m. and William is completely exhausted after 2-by-2 hour shifts on the gun puke. It's now 1 hour before first light, and it's time to wake everybody in the section. Stand 2 is required. Da 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 da. And it's all sounding interesting and all, but I don't know. Hey, look, it's somebody else's story. The time is 5:30, and I'm completely exhausted, but after 2-by-2 hour shifts on the gun puke. It's now 1 hour before first light. Yada 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 yada. The original assignment was for someone to write an essay about one of their ancestors, and they just decided to adapt one from something somebody else had written. Sort of a humorous sort of thing with this was, one of the ways that I found it was that this author kept referring to somebody being out in the jungle called William, and William was out to get them, and William was this, and William was that. And what they didn't realize was, in Vietnam, whenever they referred to somebody called Charlie, Charlie isn't a person. Charlie was the enemy, and they changed all the instances of the name Charlie to William. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it's easy to find, guys. Don't do it. Sometimes students do research, but they get lazy when it comes time to write, electing to just copy and paste the information into their papers, such as this one, where I've kind of highlighted large bits of text, which the writer has, although cited with in-text citations, as you see here, is using exact quotes from places like Wikipedia and horses and horse information, which it's very clearly word from word in here, right? And I won't belabor the point. We're just going to look at one other example, which is what we call the overquote example. This is an essay that somebody wrote on Katharine Hepburn. And they do put citations again for their quotes. However, you'll notice that throughout this paper that there's a lot of red in it. I highlighted and put in red all the text which was a quotation from another source. And as you see, their paper is basically nothing but a collection of quotations. There's no original ideas within it. And this is a no-no. Again, your ideas should always be the star of your paper, not somebody else's. Okay? And again, well, I said that I was going to be the last example. We've got one more here. Here's an example of somebody using a paper from another class. And as you can see, it's in a completely different format. It's in APA format. And had no business even being turned in to an English class. But they tried it anyways. It's very clear that they wrote it for another course. Tried to turn it in for an English grade. And do you think they got one? No. Because I emailed that teacher who that teacher was using it for, and they got a 0 from not only my paper, but the paper they turned it in for the other class. So don't do that either. According to the most recent catalog, sanctions for plagiarism may include permanent separation from the college, suspension, disciplinary warning, or failure of the course involved. The smallest punishment available is a 0 for the assignment. Now, I want you to understand that. That's the smallest punishment that I can give for plagiarism. And this is from Jackson State's rules, not my rules. So don't go, oh, Mr. Bradley, you're so mean, you gave me a 0 for this. No. If you do it, that's the smallest punishment that I can give. All right? Many other students do get much worse, such as being kicked out of college completely, even and not getting their money back. Okay? So don't do it. Flee the temptation, brothers and sisters. You don't have to commit plagiarism. As long as you always place quotation marks around direct quotes, as long as you give credit to someone else's words or ideas in the text and the works cited page, and as long as you cite all quoted, paraphrased, and summarized information, you should be fine. And thereby, by following these rules, you will then go off to graduation. I hope this information was helpful to you, and I do apologize that I was not here in class itself in order to give this presentation, but I think that in some ways this helps more because you can go back and refer to this lecture at your leisure should you have any questions in the future. Be prepared for when I do come back on Friday for there to be some quizzes on this. Alright? Thank you very much, and I hope you have a very good day. Bye-bye.